Hi, my name is Vuyiswa Ramokgopa. I am MEC for Economic Development as well as for Agriculture and Rural Development in the Gauteng province. And to answer your question, I spoke today about the fact that over the next 4 weeks in Youth Month, we are going to be commemorating but also honoring, the 50th anniversary of the 1976 youth June uprising, yes, which was led by young people. And in doing so, it's not really just about looking backwards, but really about looking forwards and saying how we can actively pave the way and create pathways for young people, particularly on the topic of unemployment. So under Department of Economic Development, we manage and oversee a number of entities ranging from tourism, the gambling board, liquor, as well as investment and trade facilitation under GGDA, and enterprise and support under the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. So our programs throughout the course of the month are going to range across a number of different topics and themes. We're going to be focusing on SMME workshops and matchmaking forums where we can focus specifically on youth-owned businesses and capacitating them to be able to, develop and engage better with government, but also be able to have the necessary tools to be able to trade. Secondly, we're looking specifically also at unemployment-focused initiatives. So in the June month, we'll be hosting a career expo where we'll be convening young people who are in the market, job seekers, with companies from the private sector as well as from the civil society sector, to be able to again showcase the kind of jobs and work opportunities that are available in many of these entities. Because a lot of the feedback, some of the feedback that I receive myself when engaging with business leaders is not so much that they have reached capacity. In fact, many companies are looking for talent. But the issue is that there's often a mismatch between what they have access to and what they are looking for. So our focus is on saying, how do we close that gap? How do we also bridge the information gap for young people who are coming into the job market, preparing them better for the job market and ensuring that they are also presenting themselves in a manner that is, being understood and seen by employers in the industry. And lastly, of course, it's around our own public employment programs as the provincial government. So, through our cleaning and greening initiatives under the Department of Agriculture, we are focused on specifically looking at young people and employing young people under that program. And also looking at a number of other youth-focused kind of short-term employment opportunities. But ultimately, our focus, and this is what I spoke to today, our focus as economic development is to build an economy and invest in an economy that is going to be able to absorb all of the talent and capabilities that we have. And it's important that I say this, that in focusing on young people, it's not to the exclusion of people who are not young. But it's about recognizing that, one of the speakers said it today, that unemployment compounds and the effects of unemployment compound. So if you're not intentional about creating economic pathways for young people, the effects of that can compound and do compound over time. So even as adults, it becomes increasingly difficult for young people to enter the job market when they have not ever entered the job market. And that's why we do have to be quite focused and intentional about young people. I definitely get a sense from all the people in the room who come from different industries, who represent different organizations and companies. You have public entities, state-owned entities, as well as private companies, small and large, in the room, who are single-minded about our objective to reduce the unemployment rate and to make sure that we deal decisively with this issue of youth unemployment. And I think there's a spirit of collaboration, and maybe if I steal a bonus, I think there's an urgency to the conversation that's being had today in light, I think, of the current crisis.